Messi has started an MLS gold rush. Viewership at record highs, attendance records being smashed left, right and centre, ticket prices surging across the country, and once the whistle sounds, engagement on social media is higher than it's ever been. The long and short of it is this: all metrics point to an incredible, record-breaking story. Nowhere is this more evident than in Inter Miami's valuation. Initially at 600 million, it's now projected to be 1.5 billion by next year. That would go straight to the top of the MLS valuation list. This injection of optimism has suddenly shot new life into football in America. And the craziest part of all is that this is only just the beginning. For those in Europe, this extraordinary impact is no surprise, because when it comes to Messi, there is no surprises. Countless goals, countless records. I mean, how in the world does somebody even score from this position? Argentina's World Cup victory, though, turned out to be his crowning achievement on the biggest stage of them all. The final is arguably the greatest of all time, and that didn't go unnoticed in America. The men's final was the most watched in history and went some way into cementing brand Messi across the pond. Once the announcement was made that very next summer, it came with a tidal wave of excitement from both media and fans. The parallels between his arrival and his co-owner are impossible to ignore. Global superstars arriving into big city markets on never-before-seen contracts. For Beckham, outside of the crazy salary, there was a clause in the contract that allowed him to purchase an expansion franchise at any point for just 25 million, a deal that would cost you at least 325 million today. That franchise we now know would make its home in Miami, sign a 5'7" Argentinian, and skyrocket their valuation up to 1.5 billion. For Messi, only part ownership of Inter Miami is on the table this time. Still a huge opportunity, of course, but it's his revenue sharing deals with both Apple and Adidas that has everybody talking. Details of the agreement are still pretty much hidden. Both sponsors are keeping their cards pretty close to their chest. But it's still pretty easy to understand. As Apple TV subscribers grow, as Adidas kit sales grow, as MLS's overall popularity grows, so does Messi's bank balance. And with that kind of incentive on the table, it was pretty obvious why Messi was keen to make an instant impact, which is exactly, of course, what he did. Messi! 7 games, 10 goals, 4 assists. Trophy number 44 of his career, and another record broken. Now the most decorated player in football history. On the run to the final, it just felt inevitable, and with that came an absolute explosion of interest. Engagement ran up into the millions. Inter Miami's follower count exploded, as did ticket prices. They were through the roof across the country, and celebrities followed along too, appearing in droves to catch a glimpse of him in action. It quickly became obvious that this wave, fueled by the social generation, was unlike anything America had ever seen before in the football landscape. And as you might expect, that makes for very, very happy stakeholders. Messi Miami jerseys are in overwhelming demand. 265 million in primary ticket sales across the MLS, meaning more revenue for all clubs as a whole. Take Chicago Fire, prime example, earned between 7 to 10 million for the Messi game, more than all of the home matches combined that season. And Apple TV subscriptions with MLS Season Pass are way up. And of course, you know, Tim's cooking up a documentary that's going to be featuring Messi, so the outlook for them from a broadcasting perspective is looking incredible. And so all the signs are looking great for MLS, right? I mean, the short answer is yes, but it still has a long road in order to compete with America's largest sporting leagues. Purely from an average club revenue perspective, it falls anywhere between 6 and 10 times lower than some of the other competing divisions. And it's also worth considering this Messi perfect storm did occur whilst the NFL and the NBA were both in the off-season. A clever move, no doubt, but competition for eyeballs is bound to pick up as we move forward. Even still, it's undeniable that a player of Messi's caliber is primed to set up the country for a huge popularity boom leading into the 2026 World Cup. The big question is, will he stay in MLS that long? I honestly find it hard to believe that he's going to leave that soon, particularly when Miami have a new stadium in the works that's going to revolutionize their club once more. And I mean, come on, one last World Cup on this new turf he calls home. All I can say is, it would be a fitting final resting spot for a GOAT to graze on.